Hey YouTube, I had a different video planned for today, but things kind of fell through and I'll be explaining that very shortly. So I thought instead, why don't I just get in front of the camera and explain a bunch of things? Because I actually realized that there's a lot of things that I've been meaning to get around to telling everybody that I was thinking of doing in streams, but I've just been so busy lately and everything. So I have in front of me here a list of talking points, and I'm just going to get talking. First topic on the agenda today. Tonight, I'm recording this the night before this comes out. This video will go live in like 9.5 hours from when I'm recording it. Patreon. I have a Patreon page now that I just made, yesterday? 2 days ago. I made 2 days ago from when this video is uploaded. A Patreon page, if you guys don't know what that is, because I don't think it's a very big website yet. Patreon is this site, a little bit like Kickstarter, where basically you can support, instead of an individual project, like in Kickstarter where it's, say, the development of a game is a good example, so that's often what it's used for. Instead, it's more for an online content creator, kind of like myself. It's kind of tailor-made for people on Blip or YouTube or Vimeo who do kinds of things like we do, even webcomics, stuff like that, music makers. It's tailor-made for people like me, basically. And what it is you set up a page in which you can pick that either it's every time you put out a piece of content, whatever you do, say a page of a comic or a review if you're an internet reviewer or something, or you can pick for it to be monthly if you do a lot of content. Mine's monthly because if I were to charge you per video, that would be absurd, but it's one where if you want to, you can choose to pledge to donate to me a certain amount of money every single month. And that supports me and helps pay for my living and my show and everything, because again, this is my full-time job and it does not pay the bills. So this is, it's a completely optional thing, of course, where you can pick to donate if you'd like to, and you can also pull out and stop donating at any point with no kind of restriction or anything. So far as I know, there's no fee involved or anything. But, in return, the person who owns the Patreon page, so like my Patreon page, we have the option to give back rewards, as well as post public goals on what we would be doing every time we get this amount of reoccurring money. So I do actually have a list of goals. If you look in the description right now, the first link I'll have there is to my Patreon, and you can check out the list of goals and rewards. Actually, remember, the only goal I have up there off the top of my head, because it's mostly paying for my living, really, the only goal I have up right now is once my Patreon is making me like $150 a month from the Patreon alone, I'm actually gonna purchase a server host for Minecraft so that I can have my own Minecraft server that is always online. You guys should have really low ping. It should be a really good connection. All of you guys can go in, you can play, you can have fun. I think that'd be really, really cool. I'd pop in, I would pop in at least once a week. I tend to go with games, I tend to have phases where I play it for a long time and then I don't play it for a long time. With Minecraft, though, if I were to have my own server like that, like a public server that I'm not just hosting off my computer, I would be on that thing all the time. I would try and find excuses to come on it, like at least 4 times a week. I should be working and I'll be playing on it, just to be able to interact with you guys, because I think that'd be a whole lot of fun. And the only system I have right now that I've been using to play Minecraft with people is I host the server off my own computer and then route it through Tungle so it gets through all the IP nonsense, because my router is a piece of shit. And port forwarding does not properly work with the damn thing. It's a shit router. And my internet, as you guys know, fuck Kojiko, my internet's not that great, so there are a lot of problems with it, and like, it's cool having a few fans on, but if I were to have a public server like that, I could get way more of you guys on. You could come on whatever time of day or night you want, because I know a lot of people are in drastically different time zones, so it'd just be better for everyone if I could do that. And I say 150 because I'm not going to cheap out and get one of those servers that have like a 16-person limit. No, I'm going for one of those crazy ones that has no defined limit, so you can handle like 100 people on the server at once. And of course, there'll be rules on the server. There'll be very, very lenient rules on the server. It's going to be a vanilla server. Maybe if there's some kind of mods that help moderate the game, then we would put those in. But, I'm not going to put in like any mod packs like the Pokemon one or RPG one. I don't think we need any of that. I kind of want to keep things really bare bones, really basic, and have it go like that. And I think that would be a lot of fun. And it would have a whitelist mode that'd be turned off and on sometimes. Like, say if I were doing a stream of it maybe, and things were to get super crowded and rambunctious and stuff, I might turn it to whitelist mode or something. And that gets into the Patreon rewards actually, because I believe it's for $10 or more. If you're pledging $10 or more a month, that actually gets you on the whitelist for any server I host. That would include Minecraft, and that would mean that no matter what, you're on, unless you like came on and like broke severe rules one after another. Then you're not paying for immunity. You're helping support me, and you're getting little perks that I can give back. I wish I could give more rewards, but really the main thing holding me back is that I can't think of many rewards. So I don't even have a reward for if you pledge 50 yet. I couldn't think of one, as you'll see over on the Patreon page. So again, like I said on the Patreon page, give me suggestions, because I want to be able to reward people as much as possible and everything, without being unfair, of course. So that's the whole Patreon thing and some of my ideas of what I want to do with it. But again, the reason you donate to the Patreon is not for the rewards. The rewards might be kind of nice and kind of cool, but the main point is to support me in what I do, because it's not easy to do what I do. It's not like I can just go get another job or go get a real job like I hear every once in a while, because I tried that for 2.5 years of a failed job search. Keep in mind, I'm disabled. It's very, very, very difficult to get a job, let alone a job when you're disabled. So, next talking point I have here is my channel trailer. I have a new channel trailer. As you may have seen, it would have gone live last night for you. I've been working on that all day today. Oops, bumped the... All day today, which would be yesterday for you. Literally, I started it in the morning and finished it late afternoon. I did the entire thing in one day. And in fact, if you look at my Patreon and you look at my Patreon trailer, it's almost the same thing. I reused a lot of the footage because I was making my Patreon thing, and I was like, well, since I'm gonna be assembling all these clips from all across my channel to show what my channel's all about to people on Patreon, I should probably, that's the perfect time to make a trailer. And what I realized partway through is I just need to re-record like a couple of lines, and this is now a channel trailer, and a way better one than my current one at that. So I made both. I made a Patreon version and a YouTube version and did both of them. So you can look at both of those if you want. I really hope that the new channel trailer gets some extra people who might have clicked off to subscribe, or maybe even become informed of certain series I've done that they didn't know exist before. In fact, if you want to know if you want to watch any of the videos that you saw clips of in the channel trailer or the Patreon video, they use the same clips. The description of both of those videos actually just has the list in order of appearance of every single video that I took clips from, and it's got a link straight to it. It took a long time to do that, but I think it's already gotten a few extra views on my stuff because of that, because I've started noticing a few comments on videos that normally don't get any views anymore, so I thought that's really cool. And for anyone who's new, by the way, I still get emailed for every single comment I get. Well, that YouTube's competent enough to email me about. Sometimes they forget, I guess. I don't know, it's not a perfect system. But I actually do read all of them. So, yeah, that's a lot of time out of my day. But it's worth it. For as many douchey comments as I get just as many very kind ones. Next order of business. Upcoming plans. upcoming plans that I have right now. This week, when I say this week, I mean sometime between today and probably Thursday. I'm gonna do a stream with my fiance. In fact, I was gonna do a video today with her, or upload it today rather. However, those plans fell through because, you know, she was very busy with work and sleeping in and all kinds of stuff like that. But we're going to be doing a stream together because she's finally got a little bit of time off school and work and everything. I think that'll be a lot of fun for everyone to meet her, because she hasn't been on a stream in forever. And she hasn't been on camera in forever on this channel. And also probably going to do a video or two with her. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Just us playing games and stuff. Maybe Civilization, because I recently got her into Sid Meier's Civilization 4 and 5, and she's been really loving those. In fact, she slept in this morning because she was up all night playing Civilization 5. Next order of business, new Let's Play tomorrow. What game is it going to be? Honestly, I don't know yet. However, it's heavily looking like Age of Mythology. That's getting most of the votes right now. That's a crying cat, not a baby, by the way. I always get asked if I have a crying baby in my house. No, that's Millie, one of my cats. Nothing's wrong with her, mind you. She just really wants attention. Getting sidetracked. New Let's Play tomorrow. If you guys didn't know, if you're not watching the current Let's Play that just finished, actually, of 007 Nightfire, in the description of those, and I'll put it in the description of this video as well, there is a link to my Facebook fan page where there's a poll going on where you can vote on what game I'll Let's Play next between Dominions 3, Sunny, and Age of Mythology. But Age of Mythology is winning by quite a large margin right now. However, if you want to tip the votes, you might be able to now. Today's your last chance, today being the day this is uploading. Normally it's only a 3-day one. This is extended to a 5-day one, entirely because the last episode went up on a Friday. So they're the 2 weekend days, and why not leave up the poll for an extra few days? Because it's not actually going to delay anything keeping it up over the weekend, because Let's Play videos don't go up on the weekend. You know, it makes sense to me at least. So if you haven't voted yet and you didn't know about the vote, then go ahead and go over there and vote. And in fact, the next thing I have on my agenda of things to talk about is the Facebook fan page. If you guys don't know, I have a Facebook fan page. It's linked in, I think, all of the descriptions of the videos I do, other than maybe the stream uploads. I've been posting a lot of pictures over there of comments that I really, really like. Either they're really, really funny, or usually really, really stupid, and like comically stupid. So I have a album on Facebook for that. I also post kind of blog posty things there now. And kind of, if I'm updating something, if I want to update people on something going on, the first place I do it is the Facebook fan page, and then it gets linked to my Twitter automatically, so that you can also see it on my Twitter, which is in the description of whatever I do. So I find that really useful, because then I don't need to get in front of the camera for every little thing, because it's really time consuming. So just being able to post a blog post like that about it is nice. And I also often cross-link it and have the Facebook one link to a bigger version of the post on my forum, so it's easier to discuss it, and it's a much better format for reading it, I find, is over on my forum. So I also cross-post it over to my forum. And if you want to sign up for the forum, then hey, it's there and it's free. And of course, you get to read all the Creepypasta early there, and all that stuff. Speaking of the forum, speaking of Creepypasta, that was an unintentional segue there into my last topic to talk about. I'm actually running low on Creepypasta. That isn't to say suggested Creepypasta. I've got quite a few of those, and you know, as soon as I run out of homemade ones, I'll go into those, if I do run out of homemade ones. But there have only been 2 times now that I've ever run out of homemade ones. One was right when I started getting homemade ones. I ran out like 2 weeks in or something, did a few suggested ones, and then went back to homemade ones, and for a really long streak of it. And then I think it was within a month before the 3rd season of a Creepypasta a day. Before the 3rd season of that, I ran out for 1 week, I think it was, and went to a non-fan made one, went to a suggested one, which suggested ones usually I leave for the 7 days of Creepypasta special, whenever those come up. And I do actually already have a fourth one planned, it just might not be for a while, because I got so much channel-related stuff going on right now that are in the works. But I'm actually running out right now. In fact, if I check my desktop right now, I've got Endless Ice, that's coming out on Friday. That's by Legion7531, very long-standing member of the forum. And then after that, I've got Watching the World Burn by Sage of Time. And of course, if you go to the finished story hand-in thread under the Creepypasta thread of my forum, the very first post will actually have a list of everything currently on the list. And that's it, they're only 2 queued up right now, because one hasn't been finished for quite a long time. I remember back in the day, I'd always have like 6. Every time I finished one, another one got handed on. And part of that is because we're a lot more careful about peer editing now. We're way less... people have finally cracked down and stopped giving a pass to the really bad story. Well, really bad stories still work their way through, and obvious typos still unfortunately work their way through, and I don't know how that happens, but for the most part, things have gotten a lot stricter about that. People have gotten a lot better about helping the authors improve. About helping the authors improve their story and just making everything overall a lot better. However, of course, that makes it much slower because you're waiting. The author has to wait for people to review the story and give comprehensive reviews, which can take a day or two, sometimes even a whole week. Because people just don't get around to it sometimes. So, people have their own lives. And then after they've done these reviews, the author has to sit down and read the reviews and carefully weigh what they do and don't want to change. And then they have to take the time to change things. And if it's more than just fixing typos, which they have to change, we have strict rules about that now, about the typos. Because a lot of this unfortunately kind of goes on the honor system of when the author tells me it's finished, I ask the thread, guys, can you confirm this is finished? And when someone confirms it's finished, I'm like, okay, I put it on the list. And usually that turns out really well. But anyway, the author then needs to read these things, and if it's more than just fixing typos, if it's actually like changing plot points because they don't work, or they're really cliche, or, they're good but they could be reworked to be better, that can take the author a long time to rewrite often, because sometimes the author is just stumped on like, I know I want to change this, but how should I change this? And that can be a very difficult process. The writing process is not easy, and a good creepypasta, real-time thought and effort goes into these things. And so it can take a long amount of time. So they're spending this time working on it, people are spending this time reviewing it, and weeks can go by. I've had stories that have been in peer editing for 2 months, 3 months, and then they get put on the show and they turn out pretty well. I've also had stories that are just stuck in limbo forever. Because the author stopped updating it. The author just kind of posted their story and then left. I literally have about 30 to 40 stories on the forum right now they range all the way from pretty good to terrible, where it's just a story that the author came in, they wrote it, and then they never came back again. They're like, can't wait to see it on the show, and then they never came back again. That's why I had to add that part to the outro of my Creepypasta videos where I say, you need to stay active on your post on the forum. Because if you're not there to tell me it's ready after a week, because we have a 1 week waiting period minimum, so that you don't just show up and immediately give me your story in the finished story handed thread, which a lot of people do, by the way, which both the rules section and the finished story hand-in section tell you not to do right in the first post. I actually give it account warnings for that now, because it's been happening so rampantly. Oh god, it's frustrating. I'm rambling a lot. Moderating a forum is difficult business. It's a forum of over 500 people now, although there are only maybe 80 people that are active. When I say active, I mean at least one post a week. It still is a bustling community for only a handful of moderators and myself, the admin, to take care of. Rambling. Rambling. What was I saying? Forget what I was saying. See, this is why I'm not allowed to ramble. I just forget what I was saying if I go off topic at all. Right, so I'm running out of stories right now, actually. So, if any of you at home want to help peer edit, to help speed things up and help make things better, of course, oh god, by all means, link in the description right now to the Creepypasta section of the forum. It's there in all the Creepypasta videos too, but I'll put it in this video as well. And you can go down there and you can make an account and start peer editing, you know? Write reviews, give advice, anything you can, because it really does help the authors. They really do appreciate it. For as much as some people on YouTube will be like, you're too harsh on this, you're a douche, I'll give you a fun and kind of shocking fact. And I am actually quite shocked by this, because I thought people would get mad at me. I have never once had an author message me after I've reviewed their story and not thank me for reviewing their story. I've also never had an author message me saying they're angry about it. I've never had one message me and say they don't agree with me. Every single time they have thanked me, and almost every single time they have said, I'm learning from my mistakes here, thank you so much for the review, I'm going to make a better one now. I've had one or two people that just came in, they're like, sorry you didn't like my story, but hey, thanks for doing it. I appreciate the publicity. I've had a few people do that. And every single person who's wrote one on the forum and that I've heard back from have been very positive about the reviews and everything. So as much as some people will think that I'm overly critical, overly harsh, I'm an asshole, I should ignore all the bad parts. Oh god, I've gotten some dumb comments. The authors find it extremely helpful because I'm giving them free analysis. It might not be as good as someone that you would actually hire to do this. However, it is a part of my profession. It is something that I'm actually fairly educated on. I'm not only self-educated after school in it, but my major thing back in high school were the Englishes and Comtech. Comtech being like video editing and filming, and philosophy. That counts as an English, though. I found English so much fun that I did the university level grade 12 English in grade 12, and I actually came back for a semester of grade 13 entirely to do the grade 12 English course again. Not because like I failed it or didn't do very well. I did pretty well, but because I got an opportunity to do the course again, but this time with my favorite teacher. My old philosophy teacher, and that was a hell of a lot of fun. So I've got a great passion for the English language, and I really do spend a lot of time studying these things, studying the origins, studying the current use, studying the rhetoric, studying what makes a story tick, what makes it work, what makes it good. And I might not know some things that someone with an actual university degree in these might know. And I'm not as good as your average person you might pay money for. There are people who get paid $1,000 a month entirely to critique novels and literary works. Alliteration. God, I'm illiterate. Literary works entirely to help weed out all the bad parts and help them make their story better. I'm doing this on a lower level, but I'm doing this for free. Mind you, it's the internet scary stories, but still, I've had legitimate authors on my show. I don't know if you guys know, but RK Boogeyman, the person who wrote Diamond in the Rough, and she also drew the thumbnail art for it, by the way, Diamond in the Rough, she is an actual professional author. She has published books, and yet she's on my forum messaging every single day, and she wrote a story for the forum and for the show, and I think that's really awesome. And I was really, and you know, I'm never starstruck or anything. I was very honest with the flaws in the story and what could be improved. And I was also very honest and said, I really like this story. I thought the idea of the story was great. So there you go. For the naysayers out there who just say, You're an asshole. You didn't like Jessica? You didn't like Muted Emerald? Deoxy's World is a troll pasta. Fuck. Sorry. I just fucking... When such a huge part of your job is reading comments all day, you can just... Yeah. Sometimes I'll just read a comment for the 500th time someone has posted it, and it's like... I just... Ding! Ding! Hey, look, I have an email on Gmail. Someone left a comment. Sweet. What's it say? Disabled. Lol. Hurry. Lost Silver reference. It's just blood pouring out of my nose as I have a brain aneurysm. Just fucking, read the description. Oh, God. Read the top comment. Both of them educate you, you stupid fuck. So... Oh, the struggles of an online content creator. I get paid less than half of minimum wage, and I have to deal with the dumbest comments you could ever see on the internet. Okay, maybe that's a bit of hyperbole. I should probably go to sleep now. Until next time, have a nice day. Or I should probably say sweet dreams.